My dear friends in Jesus Christ, today's gospel reading sounds like talking about the end time, or rather gives an impression on the end of the world. This is one question lots of people recent past asked me. Father, are we coming closer to the end time? Seeing the natural disasters taken place around the world, seeing the death and suffering caused by the pandemic, and experiencing social and economic disruption due to the pandemic, people ask, can God destroy the world? What is your answer to that question, my dear friends? Can God destroy the world? My answer to that question is another question to you. Can the source of all good and love, God, destroy or even think of destruction? If he does, he ceases to be God, because God is love and mercy. But God, out of his unconditional love and goodness to the human family, calls you and me to reflect deeply on the events, signs unfolding before our eyes. What is happening around us in the world, and to reply with mature faith, At times, God pleads with us to recognize these events, read these signs that are happening around you, because signs are given not for the destruction of the human family, but to renew the face of the earth, to renew the face of the humanity. It is necessary. Look at the world in which we live today. It is our common home, but we hear today a lot about floods, fire, earthquakes. The global warming is on the rise. The climate change is constant. For me, I believe, the God of the universe cries aloud, saying that, have respect for God's creation for God's sake. Love this common home and protect it, preserve it. Love every creature in it. Otherwise, the world that the man has created with craving and selfishness will come to an end. The Spirit of God is showing signs in our universal church to renew the church. The church is wounded and is bleeding by the cases of child abuse, financial abuses. The young continue to leave the church. We don't see young people in the church even today, and that's a reality. God's people have shown their frustration, disappointment towards priests, clergy, and the leaders of the church today. People may not like to speak directly, the signs that are visible and prevalent, are not for the destruction of the church, but to renew the face of the church. And the Holy Father already started getting wider consultation of God's people, even from the grassroots level. What are we to do? How are we going to renew the face of the church? Can we go on like this? Otherwise, the church that we have adorned, the church that we have glorified with power and authority, will collapse. My dear friends, signs are also surfacing in our family circle too, calling us to renew our commitment, our love and fidelity to the family. During the pandemic, more than COVID-19 cases, domestic violence cases reported. Many married couples looking for separation or divorce as an easy way out for family disputes. These signs are there to renew the family life. I am sure that before the family dispute, there would have been signs surface in that family, calling them to pay attention and to take precautions and to strengthen their marital bond. Perhaps to invest quality time to their marital bond. Love deeply and to understand, trust each other. A week back or two, you all must have heard, a young boy, 16 years old, met with an accident somewhere in Valisara, leaving 2 people dead. When the father of that young man was interviewed, he said, "My son is very stubborn. He never listened to me. He took the vehicle without my knowledge." And this is the story of many parents regarding their children. "My son won't listen to me, father. He is very stubborn." Stubbornness of the children will not take place overnight. Do you accompany your children closely, my dear parents? Do you know they are friends with whom they study, play and party? Are you concerned about their spiritual well-being? If not, you and I will hear very soon, it's not that far, what Jesus said to the women of Jerusalem. "Don't cry for me. Cry for you and for your children." So, my dear friends in Jesus Christ, you and I are called to read the signs of the times, to recognize these events, what is happening around us, in the family circle, in the church circle, in the world at large, but not to get panicky and excited. With mature faith to respond to them, to take precautions, seek the prompting of the Holy Spirit, because these signs are not for destruction at all, but to renew the face of the humanity, face of the church, face of the family life. And let this be our prayer during this Holy Eucharist. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.